अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। In the last session, we have discussed some of the aspects of plant life, and today in this session we can take some of the aspects of animal life, how the ancient Indians classified the animals like Charaka, Sushruta, Prashastapada, Patanjali and others, and how they were keen observers of the nature, and the more species was observed and recorded than today's species is one of the most important things that we have to note the difference between the modern study of animals and ancient Indians study of animals. So let us start from Vedas. Rigveda has recorded many birds, and a dog has been recorded. That is, it was a messenger between Indra and the Zeus. So some of the things that are mentioned in some animals are mentioned in Vedas. And Charaka mentions 4 primary divisions of the animals. That is, they are Jarayuja, Andaja, Svedaja, and Udbhija. So Jarayuja are viviparous. No aplacental mammals were known by that time. Example, man, the quadrupeds, etc. Andaja, born out of an ovum or egg, comprising fishes, reptiles, and birds. Svedaja or Ushmaja, born of moisture and heat, spontaneously or sexually generated, worms, mosquitoes, etc. Udbija, born of vegetable organisms, that is Bhutanam Chaturvidho Bonir Bhavati, Naraiva Khanda Svedodbhidaha Sharirasthana says Charaka's chapter 3rd. So Prashastapada begins with the 2 great divisions in the beginning. Ionija, animals that are asexually generated of small dimensions, Shudra Jantu, and Yonija, sexually generated, that is from the union of sperm and ovum element. The latter are subdivided into, that is Yonija, are subdivided into Jarayuja, Andaja, that is Andaja oviparous, man quadrupeds, domesticated and wild animals, etc., are given as examples of viviparous animals, and birds and sarisrupas, that is reptiles, of oviparous animals. Udayana in Kiranavali notes that Jarayu means the placenta, and Garbha Veshtana Charma Putakam Jarayuhu, says Sridhara. Jarayuriti Garbhashayasya Chabhidanam Tena Veshtitam Jnayate iti Jarayujam. So Udayana adds that the term Sarisrupa includes insects and fishes as well as reptiles, these being all oviparous. Sarisrupaha Paritaha Prasarpanashilaha Sarpa Kita Matsyadayaha. This is in the chapter Prithvi Nirupanam, he says. And then Patanjali, he classifies animals as asexually generated animals. We have seen also called Shudra Jantus, small animals. Patanjali in Mahabhashya gives several alternative definitions or descriptions of the class of animals that are defined as animals without bones, anasthikaha kshudrajantavaha, as animals or the animals do not possess any blood of their own. Esham swam shonitam nasti te kshudrajantavaha, as numbering more than 1,000 of palmful, that is minute in size, or as not easily crushed. Fifth one, as comprehending all animals up to the Aishanyuman in the animal series, Athava Nakula Paryantaha Kshudrajantavaha, says Mahabhashya Sutra 241. Sushruta also, like Charata, he may gives 4 great divisions. Samsvedajaha, born of moisture and heat. This division is mentioned first as Dalvana notes because moisture and heat are essential factors in the generation of all forms of animal life, including the classes that follow. Next is Jarayuja, viviparous or placental. The third is Andaja, oviparous. Fourth is Udbija, bursting forth from the ground or perhaps from previous unmanifest shape, for example, frogs, etc. The second and third, fourth classes are mentioned in the order of their importance. Subsequently, the order of enumeration is changed. Jarayuja, Andaja, Svedaja, and Udbija. Some commentators point out that the order in the text, whatever may be, is intended to indicate the order of creation by Brahma. Sushruta mentions man, Vyala, carnivorous quadrupeds, and Pashu, herbivorous quadrupeds, as examples of the viviparous. Birds, snakes, and Sarisrupa as examples of oviparous. Krimis, Ketas, and Pipilikas, that is worms, insects, ants, etc., as examples of the moisture born, and the frogs and as examples of animals that burst forth, eruptive or metamorphic. Dalvana notes that the divisions are really cross divisions, Yoni Sankara, and intended to be such as the natural divisions of Jiva and species are not all exclusively oviparous or viviparous. For example, among birds, winged animals, bats and balakas are viviparous, or valaka are some of them oviparous and some are viviparous. Among snakes, Ahipatakas, a species of non-venomous colubrine snakes, are viviparous, ovoviviparous. Among the moisture-borne, there are some kinds of Pipilicas or ants which also lay eggs or burst forth, that is, or perhaps from some previous unmanifested shape. The oviparous animals are divided by Sushruta into birds, snakes, and Sarisrupas. Dalvana notes that the Sarisrupas include fishes and makaras, that is, sea fish, fierce teeth, himsa damstraka, and at comprehends tortoises and crocodiles. Sarisrupaha, Shigraгаminaha, Krishna Sarpadayaha, Meena Makaradayahava, Prabhuti Grahanena, Kurmanakradinam grahanam. And comes Vedajaha Bhuvaha Sharirasya cha Samsvedat Ushnataha Ushmanaha Jataha. That is, moisture born are due to the moisture and heat either of earth or of the organisms. Of these, the krimis or worms arise from the moisture of the feces in the bowels. Krimayaha Koda Purishadi Vapya Sambhavaha, says Dalvana. From petrifying the dead bodies, Shava says Sharire, Kiyat Velanantaram Samutpannanam Krimyadinam Katham Chaitanyam. Say Tarka Rahasya Deepika, from decomposing curd or milk, says Jayanta Nyayamanjari. So these krimis are born out of these. The second class is Kitas, that is insects. Noticed among the moisture born include the scorpions, the six-spotted venomous insect, and of these, the scorpions arise from cow dung, excreta of snakes, rotten wood, etc. Katham Gomayat Vrishchikaha Jayate. Patanjali says in Mahabhashya 143, also Sushruta Kalpasthana chapter 7. The third class among insects is Pipilikas or ants, and like insects, Dalvana notes that they are born of moisture and heat as well as of eggs and sometimes burst forth from the ground. Bhuvamudbhidya jata udbhidjaha, says Dalvana. The ants and mosquitoes are also usually placed among the moisture born, and an egg is described as oval of the form of a peshi, says Dalvana and Sridhara in Kandali. And Adi Shankaracharya in Chandogyopanishad, he classifies animals on the basis of their bija, womb or seed, as threefold: Andaja, born of eggs, and Jivaja, viviparous, and Udbija. Shankara explains that Udbija animals arise from vegetable organisms. Udbhita sthavaram tato jatam udbhijam, which is also Charaka's view as well as we have seen. But unlike Charaka, there is a difference between in the view of Charaka and Shankara that Svedaja animals must be included partly under oviparous and partly under Udbija class. So this comes in Chandogya Prapataka 6 part 3. Evidently, the idea is that the vegetable organisms may pass off into animal. There cannot be generation without bija, seed or ovum, and inorganic matter without bija cannot give rise to animal life. Patanjali in Mahabhashya mentions the opposed view, which holds that not only animal organisms but also vegetable organisms such as grasses grow from inorganic matter. The Durva grass, for example, can go from deposits of hair of goats and cows, just as scorpions are seen to develop out of cow dung. Patanjali notes the orthodox Sankhya Vedanta explanation that these are not cases of growth of transformation, but merely coming out. Apakramanti, he says. अपक्रामन्ति कथं गोमयात् वृक्षिको जायते गोलोमी गोलोमाविलोमेभ्यः दूर्वा जायन्ते इति अपक्रमन्ति ता वस्तुभ्यः says. So in noticing different kinds of meat for dietary purposes, Charaka gives a classification of animals which has only a practical significance. The dietetic value of flesh of any animal was conceived to depend mainly on its habitat and mode of life. Dietary animals, mammals and birds were accordingly divided into 8 classes: Prasaha, Anupa, Bhushaya, Varishaya, Jalachara, Jangala, Vishikara, Pratuda. So, Prasaha, carnivorous as well as non-carnivorous plants as per Chakrapani, comprehending land quadrupeds and birds that fall on their food with force. Anupa are the animals that live in marshy or waterlogged lands or graze on riverbanks. Bhushaya or Vileshaya, animals that live in underground pools. Varishaya, aquatic animals, both freshwater and oceanic. Jalachara, amphibian animals. Jangala, animals that live in dry and elevated, highly forest lands, mostly species of deer. Vishkira, birds that scatter their food in picking up. And Pratuda, birds that pierce or torment their food, worms and fruits with their beak. So animals that find a place in this dietary are first divided into 2 classes. Anupa animals that live in marshy or waterlogged land, and Jangala animals that live in dry, hilly forest land. The Jangalas are divided into 5 classes and the Anupas into 8. The 13 classes are based on real natural distinctions of food and habitat. They are for dietary purposes arranged under 6 conventional or artificial classes. So, Dalvana, these 13 classes of dietary animals may be enumerated. Jangala animals, Jangala, Vishkira, Pratuda, Guheshaya, Prasaha, Parnamriga, Vileshaya, and Gramya. Second, Anupa animals, Kulechara, Palva, Koshatha, Padina, and Matsya. These Matsyas are divided into 2 groups: freshwater or river water and seawater fishes. Among the sea fishes, the Timi and the Timingala whales find a place, as also Makara, shark, Himsa Damshtrakaha, says Dalvana. The Koshastha, living in shells, mollusca, are distinguished from Matsyas, fishes. In this class are enumerated Shankhas, Conchifera, Shankhana, smaller Conchifera, Shukti, pearl mussels, Sambuca, helix with spiral shell, says Dalvana, and Valluvaka, a species of helix, according to some. Anya Sambuka Bhedam Ahuhu, says Dalvana. Dalvana adds Odika, Jalashukti, and various species of helix into this. The Padins are aquatic animals having pedal or long dorsal. Appendages comprise of kurmas, oval or oblongated tortoises, turtles, the kumbhiras, crocodiles, karkatas, white and black crabs, and shishumara, a species of delphin day, muscular with a sharp protruding snout, breathing with a blowhole out of water, probably a dolphin, as the long dorsal fin was taken for a sort of pedal appendage, says Dalvana. The padans do not represent any natural division. The other Anupa animals, aquatic amphibious animals, the plovas floating on the water, represent a class of birds like geese, ducks, cranes, etc. The Kulecharas are herbivorous quadrupeds that frequent the banks of rivers and ponds and comprise the elephant, the rhinoceros, the gavaya, buffalo, various species of deers, etc. The land animals, jangala, three of the subdivisions represent birds and five mammals. The land birds are Rasaha birds, birds of prey proper raptors, comprising the vulture, kites, hawks, owls, etc. Charakas prasaha is much wider class. And Vishkiras, birds that scatter their food in picking up. And Pradudas, bird that pierce or torment their food, fruits or worms with the beak. The last two classes comprehend between them the Percies proper and so called the scan source, the raw source, and the columbae. The remaining five classes of Jangala animal are mammals, with exception of several species. With the exception of several species of Villaceas, which are reptiles. The Paranamrigas, arboreal animals, comprise the apes, sloths, squirrels, and also the reptiles and carnivora. Among Paranamrigas, the Utighasha is a kind of tree cat that Vriksha Saika or arboreal rodents. And the Avakusha is a species of cow-tailed monkey, says Dalvana. And Jangalas are wild animals, herbivorous quadrupeds that are strong-legged and quick-footed, comprising various species of deer and antelopes. Gramyas, that is actually meaning the living in or about village domesticated quadrupeds, comprise of horse, the mule, the ass, the camel, the goat, the sheep, etc. They are herbivorous, being distinguished from the carnivorous quadruped. Kuheshayas are carnivorous animals living in natural caves or hollows. They comprise the lion, tiger, wolf, the hyena, bear, the panther, the cat, jackal, and mrigevaru, etc. The vrika or wolf is defined as a dog-like animal, small size in comparison with the lion and the tiger. But the cat here, wild cats are meant. The mrigevaru is described as jackal-like animal that kills deer. Villaceous animals that live in holes or burrows They consist of insectivorous and several species of reptiles. So snakes in Sushruta and Nagarjuna. The snakes are especially noticed by Sushruta and Nagarjuna in the chapters relating to toxicology. Kalpasthana of chapter 4. 5 different genera or families are noticed, of which one is non-venomous and 4 poisonous, including 1 hybrid and 3 pure or unmixed families. Of the last Darvikaras, Krishna Sarpa, Mahakrishna, Padma, Mahapadma, Shankhapali, Naya, Tripudinas, Bangarus are hooded, swift in their movements, diurnal in their habits, and bear on their hoods and their body marks of chariot wheels, blows, umbrellas, romps, or crossbands, goats, etc. The mandalis, vipera, are thick, prithavaha, slow moving, nocturnal in their habits, and bear circles or rings on their body. Charaka adds that they are without hoods. Rajimoths also are without hoods and nocturnal and bear series of dots or marks and are often variegated colors on the upper parts of sides. 26 varieties are named of the first, 2 of the second, and 10 of the third. So snakes in Puranas. Puranas also have made a detailed study about snakes. This Bhavishya Purana gives the following additional information. The Nagas copulate in the month of Jeshtha or Ashadha, May or June, and bring forth about 240 eggs in the month of Kartika, that is November. Most of these are devoured by the parents, but those that are left break forth from the shell in about 2 months. So, says Agni Purana. Eggs of golden hue like that of the red flowers of Suvarna, Suvarnarka Varna Nibha, Calotropis gigante, produce male young ones, those somewhat paler and of elongated ovoid shape. Bring forth female snakes, and those of the hue of Shirisha blossom, hermaphrodite ones. By the 7th day of the young snakes turn dark. In a fortnight or 20 days, according to another account, the teeth come out. The poison is formed in fangs in 3 weeks and becomes deadly in 25th night. In 6 months, Nagas shed the skin, that is Kanchuka. In moving on the ground, the folds of skin on the undersurface alternately expand and contract, appearing to put out and draw the fine filament-like legs, about 214 in number. The joints of the skin, that is scales, sandhayaha, are 240 in number, and subcaudals were not counted. Snakes are killed by men, mongooses, peacocks, scorpions, boars, cats, and hoofs of oxen. Escaping death from these enemies, a Naga may live for 120 years The term of life of a non-venomous snake is shorter, about 75 years. Say Bhavishya Purana, Panchamakalpa. The Agni Purana gives the total number of teeth of a Naga as 32, of which 4, 2 are on either side are venomous, namely Kala Ratri and Yama Dutika, which appear to be the names of fangs, and Karali and Makari, which seem to stand for two hard teeth accompanying the two fangs, says Charaka in Charaka Samhita. Umaswati also has classified animals. So his time is noted as 40 AD. Umaswati's classification is a good instance of classification by series, the number of senses possessed by the animals being taken to determine its place in the series. Perhaps only senses actively determining the life habits were counted at that time. First come animals with two senses, namely touch and taste. This division comprises of apadika, worms without lateral appendages, and nupuraka, ring-like with pendants, worms with unsegmented lateral appendages, gandupada, naughty-legged, some forms of mollusca, example shankha, shuktika, pearl mussel, and shambuka helix. Next is jaluka, that is leeches. So next come animals with three senses, pipilika and ants, rohinika, red ants, upachika, kunthu, taburduka, bugs and fleas, trapusavija and carpasasthika, that is cucumber and cotton weevils and lice, shatapadi and utpadaka, springtails, trinapara, plant lice, kashtaharaka, termites, white ants, etc. The third type of classification is, that is, they have four well-developed sense organs: sight, smell, taste, and touch. So the division has these: Brahmara, Varata, and Saranga, bees, wasps, and hornets. Makshika, Putika, Dansha, and Mashaka, flies, gnats, gadflies, and mosquitoes. Vrishchika and Nandyavarta, scorpions and spiders. Kita, butterflies and moths. And Patanga, grasshoppers and locusts. Fourth division of the animals, Thyriacunes, with 5 well-developed active senses. Omitting man, this division consists of Matsya, Urdaga, Bhujanga, Pakshi, birds, and Chatushpada, quadrupeds. Uraga and Bhujanga in popular use mean reptiles, but here evidently Bhujanga is taken to mean oviparous limbed animals, limbed reptiles and bacterians, and not creatures whose movements are crooked or in the form of a bent bow. The Uraga stands for apodal reptiles, including snakes. So let us know some more things about animals in the next session. Thank you for patience hearing. Thank you all.